good evening, wherever you are. This is Japa, and this would be my first YouTube series entitled The 8 Steps for Success. In fact, there are many steps for success, but I'm just going to be focusing on 8 principles on how we could become successful. I know success is a very relative word, because anybody who could achieve a certain amount of achievement is described to be a person who is successful. Of course, there is the field of material success, where a person could be successful in the field of his career, the field of music, business, finance, and yet at the same time, there's also what is called the field of spiritual success. So what I would like to be focusing on this series, which I'll be speaking about on this first episode, is the very important principle on what makes a person, or what makes a person successful. One, it is about developing strong willpower. Now, we all know that we do have a will, we have desires, we have independence, but most of us have not actually developed this will, this power of the will we have. In fact, it is said that as soon as a person develops willpower, right, he'll be able to become successful, because it takes strong willpower for a person to become successful. So we're going to be talking about what is willpower. Willpower is basically the desire, or the very essence of the soul to want something. In this connection, this willpower is most of the time subdued because of the environment we grew up in. In fact, you will find as a kid, and it's very in nature, in everyone, that as we grow from a child to a young boy to a man, we always try to express our freedom. We want to do something on our own. We want to be left alone. We want to be able to explore new things, question and seek, because this is very, very innate in everyone, this independence. In fact, it is said that this will is so powerful that even God would not interfere on our own will, meaning we're able to act and do whatever we want, despite it being against the law. Of course, we would suffer the consequences of it. But if you can actually harness and develop willpower for the purpose of success, or whatever field of success you would want to venture in, then this would be very, very powerful. So how do we develop the willpower? First, we need to understand and appreciate that we all have this inside, the will. Now, most of us, of course, could not express it because we're afraid. And so, how do we harness to make our will very powerful? First, we need to practice what is called discipline. Meaning, as we see, the human form of life really is a life of responsibility. And for us to be responsible, then there must be a need for the practice of discipline. Because willpower will never be developed, or will never develop, unless we discipline ourselves. Now, when I say of disciplining ourselves, is being able to harness your willpower to be able to say no to certain temptations, to certain habits that would be detrimental to success. Because there is a price to pay to be successful. And what is the price to pay? What is that price you need to pay to be successful? This is where discipline comes in, because discipline is your brakes that would say, no, I cannot do this because it's gonna get in the way of my success. And let me use the example of an athlete, okay, a gymnast or whatever athlete, football player, baseball player, whatever field of sports he is in, okay. The athletes, the sportsmen, sportswomen, they practice a strong form of willpower because they have to discipline themselves. And because of that solid routine that they go through on their practice of their particular sports, they're able to develop a strong willpower to say no to the things that will make them fail if they engage into. For example, an athlete, okay, no matter the temptation for him to smoke, okay, he knows and he is warned by his coach not to smoke, not to take alcohol, not to engage in any form of undisciplined activities because it's going to get in the way of his cultivation, of his practice of that particular sport. It's very simple. So similarly, in the field of business, right, the same applies. Whether it's sports, it's music, it's business, finance, in the field of career, right? You see all the successful people, even in the field of spiritual success, being able to achieve mystic power, being able to achieve some form of enlightenment or achievement in terms of meditation. A person still needs to have that strong willpower to be able to discipline themselves. So understanding this, that there's no way one could be successful in any field of endeavor unless he develops his own willpower. So we're going to be discussing more about this on what practices that one can do on a daily basis. It's a step-by-step practice. What can I avoid? What are the principles that I could do to develop my willpower? And that's what we're going to be discussing in our mini-series on the 8 steps on how a person can be successful. Thank you very much for watching my YouTube. If you like the topics that I speak about or I will be discussing, please press the subscribe button below, and so you could be able to catch my next series to come. Thank you so much.